Hey guys, this is Joel with Cozy Living Machine on behalf of Escape Trailers, and we are finishing up our wash and detail of our truck and trailer. We've had this for about a year, and this is the deepest cleaning we've done. Otherwise, while we would typically use a wash and wax combo in a bucket, and we always use one of these guys. I love these. You can pick these up. There's a longer handle for these, but I really like that they kind of have little fingers here, and so the dirt can bypass that, and you're not just scrubbing in dirt. So while normally we're using this, a bucket, water, and a wash and wax, this time we went ahead and we've used Dawn dish soap. So that might sound kind of strange to you, and so we wanted to make sure that we got it as good as we could just from the first wash. This stuff is really good at removing grease and grime and things like that, and you use it on dishes. It has been more than safe to use on everything that we've needed to. I've used this for years and never had a problem. Really good stuff, but it will potentially strip some of that wax if you have any on there. So we have hard water here in Las Vegas. You combine that with the heat and it just, I mean, especially windows, you'll notice it immediately. It's nasty stuff. So to combat that, after we washed everything down, we went ahead and we're using about a third vinegar. This is apple cider vinegar specifically. You can use anything. There's a slight bit of acidity, and then we've watered it down with the rest just being water. And even though it's the same water, this works very well. You go ahead and spray it on, and then you just wipe it off. And so one thing you'll notice, oh, that's perfect. Non-abrasive, it works pretty well. You don't want to let it sit for a long period of time, but go ahead and, especially if you can do this in the morning like we are right now, this works really, really well. But this has blown my mind. So we're using Rain-X 3-in-1 bug tar and adhesive remover. I had no idea how good this stuff was. One thing that we're finding is all these little black spots, and what a lot of that is, and they'll have a little tail on them, it's tar. And so we've had so much tar up here and even on here, and we haven't perfectly cleaned this because I know this is going to get dirty again, and it's on a white surface. And this will actually tear up your rag, this stuff, because it's, you know, a little pointier. However, on our gel coat and all that, we want to make sure we use this and get that tar off of there so it's not continuing to bake. You cannot pick the tar off. This, you spray it on, let it sit for a second, and then you just wipe it. It's amazing. I genuinely, really good stuff. But the other thing, I've tried to use bleach on our propane tank. Tried to use bleach, I've tried to use rubbing alcohol, and high pressure sprayer, and even just coming in here, you can see all these, it's just dark spots and black, you know, whatever. This, at best, you can go ahead and smear it. But with this stuff, you just spray this on, let it sit for a second. It does have some ether. It has, I'm sure, citrus. It kind of has an orangey smell, but you can see all that rubs right off. Way better than, and safer than bleach, I'm sure. This stuff, we use it all the way around. It's safe for fiberglass. We use it on our truck. Good stuff. Would recommend. Now, for under our awning, we had, I mean, some bad black staining. You know, just mold. It's what it is. But we've used the RMR 86, and I am very impressed. I mean, it works. It really does work, and it's not terribly expensive. Although it is 15 bucks a bottle. It's lasted us a good while. Found out the active number one ingredient in this is bleach. It's just bleach. So does it work on black streaks and mold? Yes. I would actually rather use this on black streaks, I'll tell you that, but this works very, very well because of the bleach on the vinyl. So go ahead and just spray this up there, give it a second. It's safe for vinyl, it's safe for fiberglass, all that good stuff, but make sure you wash it off right away. We just hose it down. This, I don't know that we keep using this in the future because is it worth 15 to 20 bucks depending on where you get it? I don't think so. I think in the future, I will basically be using diluted bleach. I think we'll be just as well off with that, but it does work. I'll tell you, it does work. Now for the truck glass and the mirrors, we've gone ahead and used the Sprayway glass cleaner. This is really, really good stuff. No ammonia, it's really safe. We have tinted windows, so we wanted to make sure we got something that's tint safe. Now this works very, very well. We also use it on our mirrors inside, but you don't want to use it on your acrylic windows. It's, I would expect it would probably haze some of that up. So nothing you probably can't fix, but I wouldn't risk it. Now we were down in Michigan and we actually had our hose hooked up. There was some red streaks. It was rust, down and down and down. I was amazed because I'd never seen that. I was just like, what? And I tried to use rubbing alcohol. I tried to use all sorts of products to get that out. Nothing was doing the trick until we went to Lowe's and we found Iron Out. This worked like a charm. It was insane. Spray it on. I mean, obviously you want to make sure that your cap is closed, and I wouldn't drink it, but spray it on and it just works. I was amazed. And so it's really good to remove rust and oxidation and things like that. This is safe for plastics. It's safe for fiberglass. You can even use this on carpet. Carpets and fabrics. I was amazed. And then we actually had a rusty pair of pliers. I sprayed it on that and it works. I didn't have to do anything else. So normally I would take steel wool to metal tools, but this saved me that. So 1,000, I mean, $7, $8, $9, something like that. If that, this is amazing. And we still have a ton of it left because it doesn't take much just to shoot some spots. So we've had this ever since, but very, very happy with that. Now for the last step, we want to make sure that we wax and seal everything and make sure it stays nice and pretty and shiny and resist some of the dirt. Some. Nothing can beat a proper waxing setup and all that. But this is what we've used lately because it's so easy to apply. So this is the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions. It's a ceramic spray coating and it includes graphene, which is really good stuff. You want to make sure that your trailer is good and clean. And of course, every time I look at it, I see another speck that I'm like, no! Ideally, you want to go ahead and spray this and you can apply it in different ways. I don't use a microfiber cloth because I don't want to wipe most of it off, but that's where this guy comes in. Make sure you're using a dry and clean, fresh pad here. But I go ahead and I spray this on and then I wipe it in. And then I work my way around. You want to work with it fast, and ideally you don't do it when the sun's immediately beating overhead, right? But you know, you can apply it in different scenarios. This will help seal in everything, including the dirt. So make sure that it's a good clean surface. But using this, we've had excellent success keeping everything just looking nice. The coolest thing, it also gives you that nice like bead effect when water runs over it, and it also helps the trailer and the truck to be a little more resistant to that hard water, which is cool. I also use this I've used it over acrylic windows. We've used it with different motorhomes. Now for the wheels, we just use a dollar store product, just something, the wheel and rim cleaner. We're not too worried about it. And then afterwards, of course, you can spray it with the Turtle Wax or do whatever you want. So all of this, not too expensive, very easy to use, and you don't need anything super, super fancy. These are just the things that have worked for us. Leave a comment below with what has worked for you and what you prefer, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.